Good morning, my beautiful people. Good afternoon, depending where you're joining me from today. So I'm gonna be making chicken pasta today. This recipe you can actually make it without the chicken. Okay, so if you're a vegetarian, you can have it without the chicken, and you can just add whatever veg you like. So the chicken is not necessarily a must with this recipe. So I've got my pasta there, and I've got my pasta sauce here, and then I've got my chicken. So that chicken is 1 kilo. Got my chicken breast, 1 kilogram there, chopped into pasta size. And then I've got my onion here. That's 4 onion. I've just kind of diced it, if you will. And then in here is the aroma seasoning. But then again, like I said before with the chicken, you can use whatever seasoning that you are used to. But I've got aroma there, so that's 2 tablespoons of aroma seasoning in that bowl there. And then here is our cumin powder, so that's just 1 tablespoon of cumin powder in there. And then here is our black pepper, so that's just like a teaspoon, just 1 teaspoon of that black pepper there. And then we've got our vegetable oil here that I'm going to be using to cook today, so that's just 2 cooking spoon full of that in that bowl. And then here, rather than me using garlic separate and ginger separate, I tend to get garlic and ginger paste. So I've got a tablespoon of garlic and ginger paste in there in this bowl here. So, and then I've got my cheese, but this coming at the very last, like once everything is cooked, I add my cheese to the sauce and then just leave it to set while the pasta is cooking. So usually I add a mixed veg with this recipe, but I've not got mixed veg today, so I've got some mixed pepper here. So it's just to your taste and depending how much you want in it, so you can put more if you want more veg in it or less. So because I've not got a veg, so I've not got my mixed veg today, so I'm using just this mixed pepper. So because the girls, they're not a fan of peppers really, so I'm just gonna use it a little bit of that. So that's all our ingredient there. We got pepper, we got the cheese, we got the chicken. The chicken is the king of the jungle. The chicken and the pasta. So the chicken is the king, the pasta is the queen. So we've got our recipe, our ingredient there for our recipe. And now I'm gonna get my cooker on, and then we're gonna get cooking together. So we put our oil in. Just let that drain properly. Okay, so now I'm just gonna wait for that oil to heat up a bit before adding my onion in. So our oil is alright. I'm gonna just add the onion in there now. So with this onion, we're just gonna keep stirring and just make sure that it's not burnt until it's like golden, if you like. So we're just gonna leave that to do its own thing, and then we'll get back to it. So our onion is still frying. Should be a bit long now before it's like the color we want it. So this has to be on high heat when you're doing this, because you want the onion to turn to that color that we want. Quickly if possible. Our onion is coming on nicely. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. So once our onion turns to the color we want, the next ingredient that's going to be going in is this bad boy, our garlic and ginger paste. Okay, that's going to be the next one that will be going in. So you can see we're getting there with the color we want, or that I want. So I'm just gonna give that a few more seconds and then the garlic and ginger paste is gonna go in. So I'm happy with this color that the onion is now. So I'm gonna add the garlic and ginger paste. Just stir that up. So we just do that for about 5 seconds. Okay. So now our next ingredient that's gonna go in is gonna be my pepper. The peppers are gonna go in now. So I'm gonna get the mixed peppers and put it in. Usually if it was my veg, I won't put that in first, but because it's the peppers, so I'm gonna put it in first just to make sure it's cooked. So now our mixed peppers goes in. Like I said, you can cook this pasta with or without this veg or this mixed peppers, okay? And if you're a vegetarian, then you can use whatever veg in place of the chicken breast, obviously. So I'm just gonna leave that for a minute. So just gonna leave that in there for a minute. And then my next ingredient is gonna be the pasta sauce. So my pasta sauce is gonna go in now after this. So now I add my pasta sauce. So this bottle, I'm not done with it. I'm gonna add a little bit of water in there and just get rid of the leftover pasta sauce that's still in there. So mix that up. Okay, so now my pasta sauce is in. I'm not wasting any time, so my chicken breast is gonna go in straight away. More just as if like the same time. So once you got your pasta sauce in, you can just go ahead and add your chicken breast to it. So get our chicken breast in there. And just stir that in properly. Make sure all the chicken breast is covered with pasta sauce. Mix it all in thoroughly. Sorry if the camera's moving. I'm multitasking here. Okay, so now I'm gonna put my seasoning in there. My aroma seasoning is gonna go in. So my 2 tablespoons of aroma is going in. Okay, mix that in. So some people eat more salt than others. So if you feel like you want to add a bit of salt, you can do, but I tend to not add any more salt because I feel like that aroma's got everything in it. But it's up to you. If you taste it and you feel like something is missing here, you can add a pinch of salt to it. So I'm just gonna cover that up, give it a minute or so, and then when I come back to it, I'm gonna add my black pepper and my cumin. Okay, looking nice already. So our black pepper goes in and our cumin goes in. Stir that up. So now I'm gonna add the water I've got in my pasta jar. You know, the pasta sauce I'd used, the jar. So I've just added a bit of water in there. So there we go. We've got water there. You know, pasta sauce is all nice and clean. We got rid of all the leftover pasta sauce. Just add that water to your chicken breast. So we've got everything in there for now. As I said before, the cheese goes in last. So we've got everything in here. I'm just going to cover this up for 15 minutes and then I'll come back to it. But at this stage, if you want, you can lower the heat. But I'm going to leave it on the high heat because I'm a bit rushed for time today. So I'm covering that for 15 minutes and then we'll come back to it. Because I just need to make sure this water is all dried up and my chicken breast is cooked to the way I like it. Okay. So our pasta sauce is coming on fine. So while this is cooking like this, we can get our pasta on the fire. We can get the pasta on the cooker now. So I'll just leave that as it is because there's still water in there and I need that sauce all to dry up. And then I'm just gonna get my pasta on. Well, pasta here. That is nearly ready for adding our cheese. So that's our pasta sauce. As you can see, all the juice that was underneath is drying up nicely. So I'm just gonna give that a minute or two and then I'm turning the heat off. So I'm happy with the sauce as it is now. I'm gonna turn this heat up and then add my cheese to it. Once I've done that, the pasta sauce is done. All we're waiting for now is all the pasta to cook and then we can add it in. So I'm turning the heat off on that. I'm happy with that, and then I'll add the cheese. So this is the cheese I'm using. You can use any cheese of your choice, but this is the one I use and it's 250 grams. So I'm using all of this, okay? But like I said, with this recipe, you have to make it to your own taste, in as much as you have to follow it in order to get the result that you intend to. But with the ingredient, you can add a bit or you can add more, especially when it comes to the veg, the chicken, the cheese. I'm not talking about the seasoning, because then it will be too salty. And with the garlic and those ingredients, you have to really stick to the recipe. But like when it comes to stuff like this, you can add, for me, I'm using all of this like I said, but you can add half of this or whatever quantity you want, you can add to it. So I'm gonna get my cheese in there now and just leave it to set. So always remember to add your cheese when it's still nice and hot, the sauce. So because you want this cheese to all melt. So make sure you add it straight away once you turn the heat off. I'm just trying to mix this to make sure all my cheese has melted. So it should be alright. There you go. That's the texture you want really for your sauce. So this sauce is all ready now. Got nothing to do with it now till my pasta is ready, and then I'll add my pasta to it. So that's it for now. I'm gonna stop this video now because it's over 17 minutes. And then once the pasta is ready, I'll add the pasta to it, and I'll just tend to show you the end result now, because I think we've cooked this sauce together. There is nothing more to it. It's just you cook your pasta now and then drain it, obviously, and just add it to your sauce and just mix it up. And then that's it. It's ready for dishing straight away. You don't even have to leave the pasta to set in there for a bit. Once you get your pasta in, stir it up. Make sure your pasta is all covered up with the sauce, and it's ready for dishing out. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for all your support.